Hello, hello, hello. This is Bigbobby, your favorite click and chortle guru from Studio L7, where we dish out more than just tips on photography, podcasting, field recording, and B2B filmmaking. Today I've got a flavor-bursting proposition that'll make your taste buds do a little boogie. Now hold on to your lenses, folks, because we're trading our f-stops for food stops and our light meters for lamb. That's right. St. Anna Greek Orthodox Church over in sunny Roseville, California, is so thrilled about its nearly finished construction that they're saying, "Let there be food festival." Picture this, a 2-day Epicurean extravaganza where the shutterbugs meet the sugar bugs. Mark your calendars for Saturday, the 9th of September from 11 a.m. to the light-leaking golden hour of 10 p.m., and again on Sunday the 10th, from high noon until the 8 p.m. twilight. But don't fret, my Focus faithful. The only thing getting underexposed here is your diet. So grab your widest wide-angle lens and prepare to capture the culinary cornucopia. The only rule? No flash. It scares the souvlaki. Now you don't want to lose the plot here, so be sure to follow the festival on Facebook for all the sizzling, drool-worthy updates. Consider it the sneak peek trailer to your feature flavor film. So pack up your camera bag, folks, and make sure to leave room for a doggy bag. Let's show them how we say cheese at Studio L7. And remember, when it comes to food and photography, timing is everything. So don't get caught waiting for the reheat. Catch you at the festival, folks. Bigbobby, signing off. Well, hello there, world. How's the light hitting your lens today? This is your host, Bigbobby, welcoming you back to Studio L7, the place where aperture is always our top priority and we never run out of film, probably because it's all digital these days. Today, dear friends, we're diving deep into the post-production process. You've taken your shots, mixed your sounds, and edited your clips. You've endured countless hours huddled over your computer, sipping copious amounts of coffee, eating far too much takeout, and now your podcast is ready to share with the world. But how, oh how, do you get this digital masterpiece from your hard drive to the headphones of the world's awaiting public? Today we tackle that question as we delve into the labyrinth of podcast distribution. Now imagine you've just finished painting the Mona Lisa. It's beautiful, it's groundbreaking, it's a testament to human creativity. You're eager to share it with the world, but you find out that you're living in an era without a single museum or gallery. Bummer, right? That's pretty much how podcasting works. You've got this great piece of audio artwork, but unless you find a way to distribute it, no one else will be able to admire it. You'll just be the Da Vinci of loneliness. So how do we avoid that? Well, it's all about making your podcast accessible to as many ears as possible. And how do we do that? Well, you'll need the help of podcast hosting and distribution platforms. Podcast hosting platforms are like our modern digital art galleries. They store and showcase your podcast, making it available for your eager listeners. There's a whole bunch of them out there. Buzzsprout, Podbean, Libsyn, just to name a few. They're like the Louvre, the Met, the Prado of podcasts. Now, choosing your host is an important task. You need to take into account the cost, the amount of storage and bandwidth you get, the analytics tools they offer, and whether they distribute to your preferred podcast directories. It's like choosing a home for your pet. You don't want to pick a tiny cage for your beloved parrot Picasso, right? Once you've got your podcast safely nestled in its digital home, you'll need to make sure it gets listed in podcast directories. These directories are like the travel guides of the podcast world. They let people know what's out there and how they can tune in. And oh boy, there's a lot of these out there too. We've got the big boys like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. But don't forget about the smaller ones like TuneIn, Overcast, and Pocket Casts. Diversity is key here, folks. It's like distributing seeds on a windy day. The more places they land, the more chances they have to grow. But it's not just about flinging your podcast into the wind and hoping for the best. You also need to consider your target audience. Like a wildlife photographer waiting patiently for the perfect shot, you need to find out where your audience hangs out and make sure your podcast is available there. The good news is, most hosting platforms will automatically distribute your podcast to several directories. It's like having a personal butler doing all the hard work while you sit back and enjoy a nice cup of joe. Ah, the luxury of automation. But remember, it's not all about spreading your podcast far and wide. You've got to engage with your listeners too. And that, my friends, is where social media comes in. It's the friendly neighborhood BBQ where you get to chat with your listeners, share some laughs, and maybe even post a meme or two. Remember to let your personality shine through. Well, there you have it, folks. The wild and wonderful world of podcast distribution. Just remember, it's not about throwing your podcast into the wind and hoping for the best. It's about finding the right home for your audio artwork, making it accessible, and engaging with your listeners. That's it for today's episode of Studio L7. Keep those lenses clear, sound levels balanced, and remember, in the world of creativity, your only limit is your imagination. This is Bigbobby signing off. Keep shooting.